morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you are new. Today is all about giving Cinnamon a makeover and getting her out and doing some groundwork with her. It has been so obscenely hot this week that literally, unless you're working at like 7 o'clock in the morning, it's too hot to do anything. So she's been doing a lot of walking this week, a lot of work with the equibands, which help a lot with like low impact muscle building. But today I want to do some groundwork with her with some poles. And then after that, I want to give her a bath, clip her legs, and get her all ready for when I go back to school. Because I'm going on vacation, and then after that I come home and I'm back in school. So let's get her all clean up and nice looking. So without further ado, let's go say hi to the pony. Alright, so when I first arrived, Cinnamon was out in the turnout, so I figured I would get all the poles set up and then go and get her ready. So for today's groundwork, I decided to just do 3 poles directly in a line. It's super simple, but as you can see, there's a ton of exercises you can do on the ground that just involve 3 poles set up exactly next to each other, as they are right here. So now that they're all set up, I went and groomed her and got her ready, and then came back into the ring. So we're starting with just a little serpentine, just walking over the 3 poles, trying to make sure she's listening. And there she got just a little bit behind my movement, so I asked her to walk on a little bit. I did that several times and then decided to do it the other direction as well. But first I just kind of practiced halting over the pole. Before I did that, I had also practiced halting like that, just in the ring, make sure she's listening and paying attention to what I'm asking, as well as like here, asking her to back up, making sure she stays with me, walks on when I ask her to, and also stops when I ask her to. Then this is the kind of main reason I set up the poles like this. So I kind of want her to walk in a super shallow serpentine over the poles. And as you can see, it's actually a little bit more difficult than you'd think. But essentially I want kind of just one stride on either side of the pole as we go through it. So it took several tries. This is her first time trying to do this, but she definitely improved over the course of the session. This is really good for muscle building and also just awareness of getting your horse to figure out where they're putting their feet. And then we're just going to approach it from the other direction. I think this direction she kind of already knew what I was asking for, so she got it pretty quickly. So here we are just trying it again. And then again, just asking her to halt over the pole, making sure she's listening to what I'm asking, and then walking on. This will be important for the next exercise that we work on. And also doing the same thing in trot. So trotting up and making sure she halts over the pole when I'm asking her to, and then trotting on again. She has resting angry face when she's trotting next to me, don't worry. So obviously I edited a lot of this out for brevity, but I practiced doing that so many times, halting over the pole. Again, building up to this exercise, which is where I actually want her to yield away from me over the pole without walking over it, which was actually quite difficult. She's really good with the lateral work under saddle, but I wouldn't say never, but it's been a really long time since I played with a lateral work on the ground. So this was definitely a challenge for her, but I also think it's really good to establish a good line of communication on the ground. So again, just doing the same thing. And a lot of these clips are sped up, but I take my time when it comes to these things, even if it's just one stride at a time. And as you can see there, she stepped 1 step backwards over the pole, and I just asked her to move forward again. And then lots of rewards when she is doing what I'm asking. There she stopped a little bit crooked, so I asked her to move her haunches over before asking her to yield down the rest of the pole. And again, she went a little bit over it, so I just stopped, reset, and said, okay, let's try this again. There I asked her to stop one stride before the pole before asking her to move over it. And then this one, I believe, was her best attempt at yielding down the pole. She did lose one hoof there. But she really, for the most part, was quite good. Like I said, it's her second time doing this exercise. So she has not had a lot of practice with it. But I was really, really happy with how she kind of handles and approaches these kinds of things. She really is taking the time to actually think it through, and then once she understands what I'm asking, it really clicks into place for her. And so there she was just creeping forward a little bit as she went sideways. So that's when I asked her to take a step back, took a break, and then asked her to move sideways again. Definitely yielding to the left down the pole was quite a bit easier for her. And like I said, because she's really new to this exercise, just taking the time to take lots of breaks and lots of scratches and tell her she's doing a good job. And then this next exercise is something that I worked on a lot when she was really younger, when she was a lot younger, and that I think came from Clinton Anderson, getting them to yield their hindquarters away from you, and getting them to disengage their hindquarters. It's just a really good way to get them moving around and kind of listening to what you want on the ground. So she's really good at that. So it's kind of just playing around with it again, making sure that that button is still there, which it very much is. When she was younger, I did a lot of groundwork with her because when I first kind of started working with her, she was horrible at lunging. And so I basically retaught her how to lunge using Clinton Anderson's kind of pressure and release methods. I know that a lot of his methods and his actual teaching has become quite controversial, but the core ideas at the basis of his training were what I used to teach her groundwork. But as you can see, we haven't worked a lot on it. There's a little spice in recent years, but essentially what I'm looking for is for when she stops and I lean over like that and kind of look at her hind end, I want her to turn and face me. I know in the sport horse world that's not what a lot of people want. They want their horse to stay kind of straight looking away from them. But that is just how I prefer to teach her to lunge, and it just makes it quite easy to change directions, especially with a halter. And as you'll see, she gets kind of excited when I ask her to change direction like that. But it's good because it also kind of gets her a little bit more on her haunches. And this direction we really need to work on more because she gets a little bit close and then has a little bit of spice. But always room for improvement. That's why I'm just kind of trying to do a little bit more groundwork with her. I think it's really good for all of them, no matter what discipline you're in. Alright, so here I am just lunging her over the pole. Gives her a little bit of something to think about, especially in the canter, thinking about where she's going to put that pole. I think it's really good for them to think about. And then that was it for our session. It was really hot that day. I didn't want to do too much. So lots of walking, but I was really, really happy with how she went. Okay, so for the most part, when I give a super deep bath, I make my own little potion of different shampoos. So conditioner I leave out because that is going to go on her mane and tail after I'm done bathing her. But what I'm going to do is I have some Cowboy Magic Rose Water Shampoo. That's going to go in. I'm not going to lie, I'm normally a mane and tail and or cheapest shampoo I can find kind of girl. But my friend moved to the UK and left behind her fancy shampoo. So hence why I have rose water shampoo. Then I'm going to go in with Banix shampoo. They also make a antibacterial spray that's amazing, but this is just an antibacterial shampoo. And in the summer, especially with sweat and everything, like she just gets a few little grimy spots, so I like to put that in there. And then the last thing is baby oil, and I don't always put this in, but I'm actually going to be clipping her legs today, so adding a little baby oil does help with the shine factor and does actually make it a lot easier to get a nice clean clip. So I put that in there. Also, if you don't have baby oil, Avon Skin So Soft works fantastic, as does pretty much any coat conditioner. So if you just add like a splash of your coat conditioner, it's a great additive to your bath to just make them a little bit softer, a little shinier, and especially if you're clipping, it'll give you a really nice finish. So without further ado, let's add water and get the pony all clean. I know. All right, she's now all clean despite not being very happy about it. I'm going to go give her some grass and let her dry off a bit.
And I'll see you guys when it's time to clip her legs, clean up her tail, and put all the final products on. All right, we're going, we're going. Hi. Oh my goodness, hello. Hello. Hi. All right, everyone, it's been several hours. So she is now completely dry, as you can tell by the state of her mane. So we're gonna finish up grooming and then do a little bit of clipping just to tidy her up. this is her pretty much completely done. I did clip her little leggies, and right now they do look like little ankle socks, but I try to clip basically where her hair gets a bit darker, so there's kind of a natural delineation of where the clipping stops and her natural hair begins. And even though she looks a little bit funny right now, once she grows out it actually ends up looking really nice. The biggest thing is she gets little feathers that are not even quite feathers, but she just gets a little bit overgrown behind her fetlock, and it just looks much cleaner to have it all clipped. Her tail is all trimmed, as you guys saw. It's looking beautiful, and she has a bridle path again, which has not happened in a while. Proper bridle path, not just one that was hacked at with scissors. So she is looking snazzy. Alrighty, so that is it for today. I have thrown her evening hay, and I'm gonna let her get some sleep. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!